right, so now we're going to go on to section 2.4 and talk about box plots or box and whisker plots. So the way we work with box and whisker plots, it's a visual way to represent the data to get a good idea for where most of your data lies. And for that, we need all of our quartiles, our minimum and our maximum values. And our middle 50%, so the middle 50% of our data from our first quartile up to our third quartile, that's the same as our inner quartile range. Okay, that's what makes the box. Your median is going to fall somewhere inside that box, and then your whiskers, those are going to be your maximum and your minimum values. All right, so here's an example of a box and whisker plot. So this is your first quartile is 2, your third quartile is 9, the second quartile or the median is 7, and we mark that with a dotted line or dashed line. And then our maximum and minimum values, this is our minimum value of 1 and the maximum value of 11.5. Okay, you want to make sure that you always include the scaled number line underneath it, and these need to be drawn to scale. Okay. You will lose points on Snow's tests if you do not put a scale. Okay. The other thing that we should really have on this is a label of what we're actually measuring. So for this particular data set, they didn't tell us what this data set was about. That's why it doesn't have a label for what it's about. But if you do know what your data set is about, you should label it. All right, example 2.23. We have our data set, everything going from 40 to 77. These are the height in inches of the 40 students in a stats class. You can type this into your calculator, then do your one variable statistics, get your 5-number summary. You have your minimum value, your maximum value, your first quartile, your median or second quartile, and then your third quartile. Okay, so our minimum value is 59, the maximum value is 77, and then our first quartile is 64.5, and our third quartile is 70, and the median is 66. So really this should have under here written the heights of students in statistics class in inches. Here's example 2.25. We have our data set and we have our 5-number summary. The reason we like to use a box and whisker plot is because it gives a really quick representation where most of your data occurs. So when you look at the box part of it, the interquartile range, that means that's the middle 50% of your data, lies between 15 and 490. Okay, so with this one, and this one is not drawn to scale because we're not going to jump from 15 all the way to almost 500 in that kind of a span, but it is trying to draw it to scale. And it also, with the box and whisker plot, it makes it really easy to try and identify possible outliers. So if a whisker is really high up here or really low down here, that can help identify possible outliers.